Welcome to another episode of RV Cast. This is a real treat. Tracy and I were just walking around the other day and we came across one of the coolest cars that I've ever seen. And this is some of the fun thing that you find making connection while you're traveling. And so I asked the creator and restorer of these classic vehicles if we could put him on the RV Cast, and he graciously accepted. So I want to introduce you to Eugene from Eugene, Oregon. So Eugene, welcome to the podcast. I'm so glad that you agreed to come on.
Thanks for having me.
These cars are incredible. So you were driving the Studebaker the other night, and that's when we saw you out in the parking lot.
Right.
And you were so gracious just to be willing to come on. Why don't you tell us a little story about the car?
Okay. Well, it started, we were in Medford at a car show with this Cadillac.
Uh-huh.
It was early in the morning. We were driving around and found this car out in a field. And you've seen the pictures. It's just a complete rust bucket. So I banged on the lady's door and she answered and said, "Are you interested in those cars?" I said, "Sure." She said, "Well, go look, see what you think." Said, "I like the convertible. What are you asking for it?" She goes, "Well, you know, these were my husband's cars and he's passed away and I have no idea what they're worth. We sold this other one for $500. And I said, "Well, would you take $1,500 for that convertible?" She goes, "Are you serious? You think it's worth that? It doesn't have a motor." I said, "Well, that's fine. It doesn't have a motor. It doesn't have no seats. It didn't have, no floorboards."
Right.
And that's all I wanted. And she was like, "Well, if you think that's okay, that's fine with me." So anyway, I bought it and had a vision of, I'd never had a convertible before. So, I usually couldn't afford one, so I could make one,
So cool. So give us more detail about what kind of shape the car was in. Do you know how long it was sitting or?
No, I don't know. Her husband had passed away, 3 or 4 years before. How long he'd drug it around. I mean,
Right.
the car guys, you do that. You drag them around for years thinking you're going to fix them, and he run out of time.
So when you acquired it, it was just out in a field.
Yeah.
What kind of shape was the body in? Because there was no motor.
There's no motor. There was no seats. Actually, there was about, 6 inches of dirt
No kidding.
in the bottom. And, I took a stick and felt like there was a bottom in there, but there really wasn't.
Right.
And once I cleaned it up, there was no floor. The trunk was actually gone. The bottom of the doors, I had to cut about 6 inches off the bottom of the doors and weld new metal in there.
Right.
And I don't know how I figured it out that I could put a 50 front end on a 49, because the car's a 49 and the front end is a 50.
So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the motor. So I take it this was not the original Studebaker
No,
motor in there.
they had a flathead 6. So this is a 350 Chevy. I put rack and pinion steering, disc brakes.
So was it difficult to put the 350 Chevy into a Studebaker chassis?
Yeah. In fact, I probably could have put a 4.6, which is a V6, would have fit better. So I got turn signals, in your conventional places, but I also have arrows in my mirrors.
Oh, fun.
And that is my radio, my backup camera. This is the Fulton traffic light finder. I made the top go up and down automatically.
Look at that. I take it that wasn't standard in the original Studebaker, huh?
It was, but it was kind of a screwy system.
So let's shift gears over to the Seville.
Okay.
So what's the history on this one?
I was 20 years old when I started pestering this old man to buy it. It's set behind his house on blocks. Actually, I pestered him for 7 years. He sold it to another guy. I pestered him for 7 years. He called me one time and says, "Do you still want that car?" I go, "Yeah." He says, "Well, I want $800. Give the money to the wife. She's got the title. I'm out of here. We're splitting the sheets." All right.
Wow. Well, and this is a beauty.
Yeah, this is a 57 Eldorado. They only made 2,100 of them.
And so this engine is stock.
Yeah, the only thing I put disc brakes on the front, and that's a master cylinder out of a 2000 Camaro. I think so I got that out of.
Right.
And so all these emblems are actually gold plated.
So this was the original color
Right.
that came with it. Wow, you've done a fantastic job.
Yeah, I started right here with my wire feed welder. Had never done it before, and went all the way around the car, fixed that fender, that door, and back around all that. Wow. 2 years later, when I got back to here, I thought, man, my skills are so much better, I should go again. can see the interior here, but when the sun shines on it, it just sparkles. It just glows.
So did it come with that sparkly interior?
That's the original material.
That was the original material. And so you just picked up these skills. Did you have a mentor? How did you go about learning everything that you did?
You know, earlier when I was 18, an old Indian man I knew taught me how to bleed the brake, and then he taught me how to, replace the brake shoes and adjust them. And, little by little I learned. And it was mostly because I wasn't wealthy enough to go out and buy it or pay somebody to do it. I want to show you these wheels.
Yeah.
These are actually the wheels. The hubcap is just this little thing. Those are called Sabre wheels.
Oh my goodness.
And those only came on the older autos.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's part of the actual rim.
Yep.
The spokes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that just pops. Well, one of the things that really got me excited was we just met each other in the parking lot, right? And so the whole concept of RVcast is to talk about connections. And you were kind enough to see that we were just gawking at your Studebaker, and you invited us over and showed us the car. So thank you so much for that connection. Are there other instances where you've made connections from your cars that you wouldn't necessarily have made otherwise?
Well, I've met, through all the car shows, you always meeting different guys, but there's a group here in Eugene, and we go to the Gut, which was the day everybody cruised the Gut. And so on Friday and Saturday nights, there'll be 30 guys there, they'll be showing off whatever car they got. It can be a Jaguar, a Lamborghini, a Volkswagen Rabbit, a truck, a rat rod, a motorcycle. It don't matter.
Right.
Just take your passion and talk about it.
I love it because you can take a total stranger and it's almost like because you have something in common, an appreciation for what you've done here.
Right.
You just become instant friends.
Yeah, those lowriders are not I wouldn't do one.
Right.
But there's 3 or 4 lowriders that show up and they're great guys, and they love their cars as much as I do.
Right. Thanks, Eugene.
Yeah.
That was a real pleasure. I really appreciate you taking the time to invite us into your world and for showing us your passion, your expertise, and your true craftsmanship.
Well, I appreciate you saying that because sometimes you go to the shows and a guy has a fabulous car and he just had a big wallet, went out and bought one.
Yeah.
It's different when you can say, yeah, I did this, I did that, did that.
Well, and what a fantastic opportunity for you to invite us out to your shop.
Yeah.
Because I think that's one of the most iconic things about this whole experience is that you did it in really almost just a single car garage, right?
Yeah, it can be done.
You weren't trained in the trade. You did a bit of YouTube university, if you will, and just bought the equipment and you dove into it.
Yeah.
And if you made a mistake, you fixed it
exactly
and redid it.
Yeah.
I love it. There's so many life lessons that correlate with that.
Yeah.
It seems like today we're hesitant to just jump in and do something because something might go wrong.
Yeah, you might make a mistake.
Right. And your collection here is a testament to just dive in, do it. If you screwed up, do it again.
I made mistakes on this car.
Yeah.
I had to do them again.
Sure. Well, this has been a true pleasure. Thanks so much, Eugene. And thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of RVcast. We hope that you've enjoyed this, and more than anything, we hope that you'll get out, do some traveling, get the journey going, and make those connections that are out there. And hey, we'll see you on the road. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of RVcast. We hope you enjoyed hearing about our latest adventures on the road.
And don't forget, if you're itching to explore unique and interesting RV destinations, be sure to download the Curb and Turf app.
That's right, Curb and Turf. It's your go-to for finding those hidden gems off the beaten path. And hey, if you own property and you want to share your slice of paradise with fellow travelers, why not become a host yourself?
Absolutely. Just head over to curbandturf.com/start hosting to get started. Or reach out to us for more information.
Yeah, and you don't want to miss a future episode, so be sure to subscribe to RVcast so that you never miss a beat.
Until next time, happy trails and safe travels.
We'll see you on the road.